Las Vegas, October 2nd, 1980. Round 10. Muhammad Ali, 38 years old, overweight. Slows in the corner. His body won't respond. His punches have nothing on them. His legs won't move. Across the ring stands Larry Holmes, his former sparring partner. His friend Holmes is crying between rounds. Actually crying because he's being forced to beat up a man he loves. A man who shouldn't be in this ring. A man who should have stayed retired. What happens in the next round doesn't just end Ali's career. It destroys the myth, shatters the legend, and teaches the cruelest lesson in sports. The hardest person to save is the one who won't save themselves. And it starts with a question nobody had the courage to ask. Why did Ali come back? After Manila, Ali should have retired. Everyone said it. Doctors, trainers, his wife, his friends. He was 33, champion of the world, had nothing left to prove. But Ali didn't retire, kept fighting, won some, lost some, got slower, older, more damaged. Finally, June 1979, Ali retires. Says he's done. No more comebacks. No more fight. He's 37 years old. His speech slightly slurred. His hands trembling slightly. Early signs of what's coming. But something happens. Money problems. Bad investments. People stealing from him. Suddenly Ali needs money. And there's only one way Muhammad Ali knows how to make money. Fight. So 14 months later, October 1980, he announces a comeback. One more fight against Larry Holmes, the current heavyweight champion. The boxing world is horrified. This isn't a competitive fight. This is elder abuse in the ring. We've covered Ali's greatest victories, refusing $50,000, destroying Liston, rope-a-dope, against Foreman. But tonight isn't about victory. It's about what happens when you don't know when to stop. If you've been following the series, you know where this is going. If not, links in description. Now, let me show you the saddest night in boxing. Round 1. Bell rings. Ali tries to dance, tries to move, but his legs are concrete. His reflexes gone. His speed vanished. Holmes doesn't want to hit him. Throws soft jabs. Measuring distance. Hoping Ali will just stop. But Ali won't stop. Keeps trying. Keeps throwing. Punches that land short. Weak. Powerless. Round 2 to 3. Holmes realizes Ali isn't going to quit. Holmes has to do his job. Starts landing. Body shots. Head shots. Clean punches. Ali absorbing them. Can't defend. Can't move. Just standing there, taking punishment. Holmes looks at the referee, pleading with his eyes. Stop this. The referee doesn't stop it. Round 4 to 7. It gets worse. Ali stumbling. Falling into clinches. Holding on. Surviving. Between rounds, Angelo Dundee screaming at him. What are you doing? This isn't you. Stop this. Ali mumbling. I can still. He can't. Everyone knows he can't. Except Ali. Round 8 to 9. Holmes is openly crying now. Tears streaming down his face. Punching a man he used to idolize. A man who gave him his start. I'm sorry, champ. I'm sorry, whispered between punches. Ali not responding. Not defending. Just there. A ghost of who he was. Round 10. Angelo has seen enough. Looks at the referee. Signals. Fight over TKO. Larry Holmes wins. Muhammad Ali's career ends. Not with glory. With mercy. This is hard to watch. Hard to talk about. But it's the most important lesson in the series. Subscribe if you want to understand why even legends need to know when to stop. Because this isn't just about Ali. This is about all of us. Drop a comment. Have you ever watched someone you love refuse to quit when they should? Let's talk about it. After the fight, reporters ask Ali if he regrets the comeback. He says no. Says he had to try. Had to know if he still had it. But his hands are shaken. His words slurred. His eyes unfocused. This is the beginning of the end. The Parkinson's accelerating. The damage accumulating. Years later, the people close to Ali admit the truth. He couldn't let go. Not because of ego. Not because of pride. Because identity. Muhammad Ali's entire identity was the greatest. When you build your identity around being the best, What happens when you're not the best anymore? You deny it, you fight it, you refuse to accept it. That's what Holmes was about, not a comeback, a denial. Ali couldn't accept that he wasn't Ali anymore. That time had taken what made him special, so he stepped back in the ring, to prove to himself, not to the world, to himself, that he was still the greatest, and the ring proved him wrong. Cruelly, publicly, permanently. This is the tragedy of champions who won't retire. They think they're fighting their opponent, but really, they're fighting time, fighting age, fighting reality. And you can't beat those opponents. Nobody can. Ali beat Liston, beat Foreman, beat Frazier twice, beat everyone human. But he couldn't beat time, couldn't beat age, couldn't beat decline. Nobody can. The wisdom isn't in fighting until you physically can't. The wisdom is knowing when to walk away while you still can. Ali didn't have that wisdom. Or maybe he did, but his identity wouldn't let him use it. After Holmes, Ali finally retired. For real this time. But the damage was done. Permanent. Irreversible. The Parkinsons progressed rapidly. By 1984, 4 years after Holmes, Ali could barely speak. His hands shaking constantly. His movements slow and stiff. Doctors said Holmes accelerated it. Maybe by years. Maybe by a decade. One unnecessary fight. One night of punishment. Shortened his quality of life permanently. Was it worth it? Ali said, in a rare moment of clarity. I should have listened. Should have stayed retired. Manila should have been the end. But I didn't know how to be Muhammad Ali without the ring. I didn't know who I was if I wasn't fighting. That's the real tragedy. Not the fight itself. The fact that Ali's identity was so tied to boxing that he couldn't imagine life without it. And when he finally had to face that life, he'd already damaged himself beyond repair. Larry Holmes never forgave himself. Said in interviews, I wish I'd refused to fight him. Wish I'd said no. But they would have just found someone else. Someone who'd hurt him worse. At least I tried to be gentle. Tried to end it quick. But there's no gentle way to destroy a legend. That night in Vegas wasn't Larry Holmes beating Muhammad Ali. It was Father Time beating Muhammad Ali. Holmes was just a messenger. If this video hit you differently than the others, you're not alone. This is the lesson nobody wants to learn. Sometimes the bravest thing you can do is stop. Like this video if you understand. Share it with someone who needs to hear it. And tell me in the comments, what are you holding on to that you should let go? Here's what Larry Holmes teaches us. The hardest fights aren't against opponents. They're against yourself, against your ego, your identity, your inability to let go. Ali fought himself that night and lost, not because he was weak, because he was human. We all do this. Maybe not in a boxing ring, but in life. Gives the entrepreneur who won't shut down the failing business. Gives the athlete who won't retire when their body says, stop. Gives the relationship that's over but neither person will leave. Gives the career that's killing you but defines who you are. Gives the identity you've outgrown but can't imagine life without. We all have our Larry Holmes fight, the moment where we should stop but we don't, because stopping means admitting something we don't want to admit. That chapter is over, and we have to become someone new. That's terrifying. More terrifying than any opponent. More terrifying than failure, because failure means you tried and lost. But walking away means accepting you can't try anymore. Ali couldn't accept it, so he tried. And Father Time beat him, cruelly, publicly. The wisdom Muhammad Ali learned to laugh at wisdom that could have saved him is this. Your identity isn't what you can do, it's who you are. Ali thought he was the greatest boxer. So when he couldn't box anymore, he didn't know who he was. But Ali wasn't a boxer. Ali was a man of principle, a strategist, a fighter for justice, a symbol of resistance. Boxing was just how he expressed those things. It wasn't who he was. If he'd understood that, he could have walked away after Manila, could have preserved his health, his dignity, his quality of life. But he didn't understand it, not until it was too late. Don't make Ali's mistake. Whatever you're holding on to, whatever identity, career, relationship, dream that's killing you but you won't let go, let it go. Not because you're weak, because you're wise enough to know when the chapter is over. The greatest victory isn't winning one more time. It's knowing when to stop trying. Ali learned that lesson in Vegas, 1980. By then, it was too late. You still have time. The bravest thing you can do isn't fighting one more round. It's knowing when to walk away. Comment: what are you holding on to that you should let go? This is a safe space. We're all fighting our Larry Holmes fight. Like. If this was the hardest video in the series to watch, subscribe for video 6. After Holmes, Ali had to rebuild his identity without boxing. What he became next might be his greatest victory. Share with someone who needs permission to stop, to walk away, to let go.